Hello, my name is Chris and I'm one of the cancer support workers at Yeovil Hospital, and today I'm here to talk about nutrition following a cancer diagnosis. Now, before we get started, please take note that what I'm going to talk about is generic information. So if you have already been given specialised conditions, then please do continue following what you've already been told. Also, if you have unexpectedly lost a noticeable amount of weight, or if you're unable to gain weight, and if your diet is just really restricted and you're not really too sure what to eat, then please contact your clinical team or the cancer support workers and we can do a referral to our Macmillan dietitian. So what do we want from food? We want to enjoy the food we eat, and we want the food to work well for our bodies and to potentially help with some of the side effects of cancer and treatment. Unfortunately, this can be difficult to achieve with food due to the side effects of treatment. These can be both physical and psychological, and these can really impair our relationship with food. Do you recognise any of the side effects noted? Or possibly you have some side effects which haven't been put down here. Taste changes, nausea, and a lack of appetite can make it be really difficult to cook food, especially when you are fatigued. If you do struggle to eat what you would consider your normal size portion meals before, our dietitian always just recommends eating a little and often. This could just be having small plates of a bit like party food around these higher calorie things such as the pork pies and the sausage rolls, just to make sure your body is getting the needed energy. You might also no longer enjoy the foods you once did. You might have taste changes, and this could also come from the cutlery you're using. So if you do get a bad taste with metal forks and knives, try bamboo, wood or plastic, and this might be able to improve that. Depression and isolation can also make it really difficult to be motivated to cook, leave the house, and especially just buying the meals. So what you might be able to do is just break this down into smaller parts. For example, you might cook the vegetables in the morning with aids in the kitchen, so you might have a stool you can rest on, and then you leave that to one side, come back to it later, and you might cook the rest. It can also be helpful to cook larger quantity meals and then just freeze other portions. So on days you are feeling particularly fatigued, you know you've got a nutritious meal you can either microwave or oven cook. So up on the screens are some reasons why a healthy lifestyle is important. And this is more so after being given a cancer diagnosis. It can help improve your energy levels, reduce feelings of fatigue, as well as improved damaged and weakened cells. We like to think of our body as a car, and for a car to run well, it's going to need good energy and good fuel to do so. And we know from a lot of people's experiences, it's not always easy to eat well for a variety of reasons, such as stress, loss of appetite and fatigue. And we're aware that overhauling your current eating habits is probably unrealistic at this time. But it is important to remember every small change you will make will have a big difference. And there's a few things we just need to be mindful of. And the first of that is salt. In our average daily diet, we shouldn't be consuming more than 6 grams of salt, which is 1 level teaspoon. And most salt is already hidden in our food. It's important to know that salt will raise your blood pressure, which can increase risks of heart disease and strokes. So you should be able to look on a lot of food packaging for the traffic lights and be able to see how high these are in salt. You might want to use low sodium substitutes, and we recommend just trying to cook from scratch where possible. You can use different herbs and spices when you're cooking, and just try not to have the pot of salt on the table with you. The next thing to be mindful of, which a lot of people do ask, is alcohol. And alcohol can interact with treatment and be harmful to your system, as well as increase rates of certain cancer. If you are wanting to drink, we recommend only saving it for special occasions and to limit as much as you can. It is 14 units for both men and women. There's the recommended amount throughout the week, spread over the week, but we do recommend just saving it for the special occasions. And next to alcohol, also want to quickly talk about water. So make sure to drink 6 to 8 glasses So you're kind of looking for just over 2 litres of water a day. And you will need to increase the amount of water you drink when you exercise and on warmer days. And if you're unsure if you are dehydrated, a good indicator of this is your wee. It should be a light straw colour, and the darker your wee is, the more dehydrated you are. So just try and sip water throughout the day. Smoking. Now, you should all know the reasons and the implications smoking will give for us, such as impairing your breathing, reducing your energy levels, damaging your sex life, and increasing levels of anxiety. Cigarettes can also impair your flavour of certain foods and your smell of them, such as cheese and fruits. But despite all, other than just the health implications, it's also a large financial consideration for some people. Say it costs £13 for 20 cigarettes and you smoke 5 a day. That's £22 a week you're spending, which is almost £1,200 a year. So what happens to your body when you stop smoking? After 20 minutes, you start to feel better. Your pulse will reduce and return to normal. And after 8 hours, the nicotine in your body and carbon monoxide levels will reduce by more than half, so your oxygen level will be normal. Within 2 days, carbon monoxide will be eliminated from your body and your lungs will start to get rid of the mucus and be able to breathe a bit easier. Your ability to taste will improve. And after 72 hours, breathing becomes easier and your energy levels increase. 2 to 12 weeks, your circulation improves, and in just 3 to 9 months, your coughs, wheezing and breathing problems improve as your lung function is up 10%. And benefits only improve with time. After a year, your risk of heart disease is about half of that as a person who is still smoking. After 10 years, the risk of lung cancer falls to half of that of a smoker. And after 15 years, your risk of a heart attack falls to the same as someone who has never smoked. Your GP can refer you to the Stop Smoking Advisor, as well as stop smoking groups where you'll be offered conversational support as well as aids and medicines if wanted. And it's helpful to identify when you have a craving and see if you can substitute this for something else. This can be replacements such as nicotine patches or lozenges. So there is great information available online on the NHS smoke-free sites, and if you are interested in stop smoking, speak to either one of your clinical team or your GP. And finally, just want to go over processed meats. It's really good to reduce and try to limit these as much as possible. And processed meats are meats that have been treated and smoked, such as bacon, chorizo, deli meat, sausages. And it's also helpful to limit your intake of red meat, such as lamb, beef and pork. Try to keep this to 2 or 3 portions a week at most. So that's looking about 350 to 500 grams of cooked meat a week. So what I want to do now is just a quick quiz with you. So 5 questions, true or false. The first being, true or false, eating 5 or more servings of fruit and vegetables each day may lower your cancer risk. That's true. Eating enough fruits and vegetables may help to prevent several types of cancer, including that of the mouth, the stomach, and the lungs. Question number 2. All fats are bad. This is false. We do need some fat in our diet as it provides the essential fatty acids that our body can't make itself. These are the unsaturated fats and can be found in plants and seeds such as nuts, olives, oily fish and avocado, whereas the saturated fats will increase the risk of heart disease, and this can be found in things such as fatty meats, cheese, creams, biscuits. Eating too much of a single type will gain weight if that's saturated or unsaturated, so it's good to eat everything in moderation. Question number 3. Drinking red wine can lower your cancer risk. This is false. Whereas drinking half a glass of red wine a day will lower your risk for heart disease, there's strong evidence that it will increase your risk of cancer for sites such as the mouth, liver and breast. Question number 4. Sugar feeds cancer. And this is false. Sugar feeds all of the cells in your bodies, not just the cancer cells specifically. You cannot starve cancer cells by not eating sugar. As Cancer Research UK states, there is no evidence that following a sugar-free diet lowers the risk of getting cancer or boosts the chance of survival if you are diagnosed. And finally, question number 5. Skipping meals is a good idea when trying to lose weight. This is false. It is a nutrition myth to think that skipping a meal will result in weight loss. Your body will slow down its metabolic rate, and this will cause us to not burn as many calories. And this might cause us to overeat in the next meal as well as snack in between. So that's why we just suggest eating balanced meals, 3 regular meals, including your breakfast throughout the day. So it's important, if you wanting for further advice, then please speak to your cancer team or to one of the cancer support workers, and we can refer you to the Macmillan dietitian. But it's also important to remember there is no single food or supplement or any particular diet that will prevent cancer from reoccurring. So the main advice will just be to follow the information provided by Macmillan, as well as the guidelines from the World Cancer Research Fund, and just try and live as healthy a life as you can. Thank you very much.